here are the top 3 junglers to play when you're trying to learn the role or trying to improve. My background in League of Legends is pretty much above average. I scale the lower bracket pretty heavily. I am not a professional player by any means, but I would say by more than 50% of the community, I am a higher rank than them, and I do play every role. So I'm making these lists to help out people who are not used to this role, and if you do need to play it, and if you want to learn it, this is a good starting point. So, we have Warwick, Sejuani as number 2, and then Kayn as number 3. Let's talk about Warwick. Warwick is a super simple champion designed to teach people jungle. That's literally the purpose of the champion. Riot has outward say that. A lot of people in the community want that to be his role, right? He heals a lot. So clearing jungle, not that big of a deal. He is a very strong early game champion where you can clear... let me see. Your clear path is basically you clear the bot side. If it's blue side, you get red buff, you clear blue, the whole blue side, you gank top, you get a kill, you're winning the game. If it's red side, you clear all of blue, you get the red buff, you gank top, you get a kill, you're winning the game. That is how simple Warwick is. Something to be very careful about with Warwick is being too aggressive, and you should really be combining with using just ganking and farming, right? People get really caught up into ganking too much, and some people don't gank enough. With Warwick, you can gank at any time, so just wait for a good gank. If you're waiting to gank, you are doing something wrong, or you're communicating it wrong, or I said mid laner. It's probably going to be a mid laner who's going to do this to you more often than not. But that player is probably not going to allow you to gank. If they say, "Why aren't you ganking me?" just say, "Set me up." Because the thing is, the only way you can close the gap is your R. But your Q can latch on to them, and you can follow them even if they flash. So you want some ground to cover. Mid lane is a huge problem for Warwicks because it's the less neutral area until you're under a tower getting hit with tower shots. With Warwick, I will say for beginners, gank top, gank bot, and just focus on your E. Fear them towards your laner. Hold your Q, and if they try to flash, just try to preempt it. Normally people start with it. If you walk up to them, that's the best time to hold Q because they're probably going to flash instantly. Or if you ult them right away, then I would Q right after your ult because that's probably when they're going to flash also. So, Warwick, super simple. Highly recommend to play that champion. Moving on to Sejuani. Sejuani is a tank. Warwick is a bruiser. Sejuani is one of those champions where her core thing is farm, get tanky, gank a lot. People, same problem with her. Junglers have this, laners think junglers need to gank all the time, and there are metas where that is the case, but in terms of beginners, you should be trying to find a balance because you could be the reason why you lose the game purely because you're under leveled. So time efficiency is the biggest thing for this, right? You want to be farming and then ganking, and you want to time your ganks where, especially with Sejuani, you don't have the benefit of healing from Warwick. You're going to have to make sure, do I have enough health for this? If you're under half and it's not a free gank, don't gank. If you're above 3/4, you are open to gank anyone. That gray area, it's like, if you're more towards 50%, gank the tanks. If you're closer to 3/4, maybe gank the late game scaling champions. Do not gank the burst mage at 50% health. You're going to die very quickly in the early game. But work on getting things like your Sunfire cape. that will allow you to deal a lot of damage out through the whole game because you're just going to stand there and CC them. And that's your job as Sejuani, is to CC. Next, we're going to move away from Sejuani. I'm not going to give too much specific jungling advice. This is mainly just advice on champions. Kayn. Kayn is my jungle champion of choice. I really like him. I really enjoy him. And the reason why he's on this list is for two reasons: his flexibility and his gank ability. As you've heard, a lot of things I've said is don't gank too much. With Kayn, I'm going to say gank. Gank quite a bit. But know when to leave. With Kayn, you're not looking for successful ganks. You're looking to get stacks to then transform into blue or red Kayn. And each one of these forms have different benefits, but that's what makes Kayn really good, is that it teaches you what good ganks look like and what bad ganks look like. Because a lot of people die on ganks because they don't know when to quit. With Kayn, it's like, I'm getting some damage off, now I can leave and go back farming. And that's what makes Kayn really good, is that it teaches you when to stop pursuing the gank. Just get some free damage off, and if you get no stacks, meaning you got no damage off, then that's probably a bad gank, or maybe you're even trying to relieve pressure, right? One's good, relieving pressure, the other's bad, you did physically nothing, you just wasted your time. Kayn teaches you something very valuable, something that a lot of junglers really need. So, with that being said, his two forms makes him one of the best junglers in the game, because midway through the game, you can decide, do we need a carry or do we need a bruiser tank? And Red Kayn is definitely the better Kayn. You're going to choose Red Kayn 80 to 90% of the time because he has a knockup, all of his abilities heal him at that point. He is a monster, literally. But Blue Kayn, however, has an electrocute that resets after you ult. So if you're 10-0, Blue Kayn's your option. That's really a game to go do it. You're going to be one-shotting everyone you see. Red Kayn is going to be that point in your team where everyone can stand behind you and trust you. And you're also the engage. So you can actually control more than just ganking. You can control late game team fights. All three of these allow you to be the engage. They allow you to set the tone for your team. Meaning you're going to be leading your team, which is what a jungler is. A jungler is not a mid lane or a bot laner hiding behind everyone trying to get damage off. They are the guys going in first, trying to get their team going. Meaning, no matter what people say, you just gotta shrug it off. No matter what people want, you just gotta go what you think is right, and if you're wrong, you gotta improve. Don't think you're always right, because you're not. Let's be honest, you're learning this role, so you're pretty stupid in a lot of areas. But that's okay. It's a learning process. Everyone's dumb at the beginning. You'll get smart the more you play, and the more you play, the more you can shrug off people that are stupid. They think they know what they're talking about, and when you know what you're talking about, you'll know what I mean. But these are the three best champions. This video is a little bit longer than top lane, but jungle is such a compact role that you have to do a lot, so there's a lot to go through. But that's all. Thank you.